Ladies and gentlemen, boys and girls, how are my snipers doing today? I hope you're doing fantastic. Listen, today we're going to be talking about Bitcoin, some other coins, especially that we are here on a Sunday coming to a weekly candle close. Now, listen, a weekly candle close indicates a lot during these times. So let's break things down. We can see Bitcoin currently is at $103,000, looking to be breaking the all-time high, pretty much of $104,000. We talked about, a few days ago how I expected for there to be a retracement, even down to potentially $92,000. And, we didn't get there quite yet, but we did get to $94,000. So, you know, we saw there was huge order block candles here. They tapped in perfectly. And we can see ever since then, Bitcoin has been going to the upside. Now, I don't think we should really be coming back down to these levels. Worst case scenario, I would say $97,000 as a very quick wick to continue moving up. Overall, I believe we're going to be leaving this range because we've been kind of ranging in this area already for about 3 to 4 weeks now. And I expect Bitcoin, especially with the last couple nice rejections, to really start moving forward and creating new highs. We can see when we compare that price action to this price action, it was kind of the similar thing, right? We did have a little bit more down momentum here, but overall, we had a couple weeks of rejections before we started to fly up, which makes me believe, if we have something very, very similar to last cycle, is that we are currently, somewhere here, right? We are looking to be breaking out of this zone. And if we compare it to last cycle, we might be in this zone because we can see there's, a nice pump here, just how there was a nice pump here, which really makes me believe, Bitcoin's top might be coming soon, over the next few weeks. At the moment, there's nothing confirming it, but based off previous history, it does suggest to me that over the next coming weeks, we might top out. And especially once we start going sideways, that is when we will have a very, very good indication that Bitcoin is topping out. Because right now, we had a little bit of pullbacks, corrections, just in certain zones, but nothing crazy, right? No real sideways movement, no real indications of anything. So everything still looks good, which means people that are trying to still get into altcoins, you're still here in time. Okay. You're just in time if you are a new viewer or if you're looking to be buying crypto, because we can see if we go to the other chart, right? This weekly candle was pretty much the retest of these highs over here, right? This was the retest of these highs because we just rejected off the previous all-time highs. So we bounced up, we ping-ponged from these highs, then we retested off these highs. And now I believe overall the next 2-3 weeks, we're going to be looking to be pushing past this barrier. So time is still very, very limited. You cannot be too stingy with, the prices you want, because they're not going to come there, right? You've had multiple months to get very good premium prices, pretty much mid-June to early November. So a couple months of premium prices you could have got yourself in. So right now, if you're looking to be buying coins, is not the time to be stingy because, like I said, we are running out of time. Now, I still do believe there will be a couple shakeout attempts for, altcoins, especially because the previous data suggests, it was pretty wiki here, so it suggests that, the market makers don't want you to be making a lot of money with leverage positions, because if you guys don't know how leverage works, let's go to something like Turbo, our beloved Turbo. Okay. So let's say hypothetically, this is Turbo's bottom. Okay. If I was like, okay, I put in $500 and let's say every amount, every amount it moves like this, right? So this range, I'll get another $500. So roughly here, you get another 500. Roughly here, you get another 500. Roughly here, you can see hypothetically, if you took a leverage trade here, right, and about every range like this, you would make $500. If Turbo 20x is from here, you're going to be making insane gains because boom, little range, boom, little range, boom, little range. Every little range that Turbo would go up, you would be making $500 off of that. So the market makers really, really try to shake people out as much as they possibly can because they don't want anyone, turning a couple dollars, couple $100, thousands of dollars to millions and millions of dollars. They do not want that, especially that they could see all the data. Pretty much almost $900 million got wiped out in 1 hour when the Bitcoin shake happened, right? It wiped out a lot of money. So just be careful with that. Listen, that is pretty much it for when it comes to Bitcoin and altcoins. We're going to dive into our beautiful, beautiful coins like Turbo, Caspa, and some other favorites on the channel. I noticed there is a trend line with Turbo when it comes to its all-time highs and creating new highs. For me, Turbo is really going to explode once we get past this trend line. I do expect there to be a little bit more of a pullback at the moment because the weekly candle is looking like a very like sellish candle, like a bearish candle. So for me, this thing is not going to flip bullish in one day, right? It would have to override and overtake these last 4 candles, these last 4 days worth of data in one day for it to turn bullish, which is not realistic. But next week, max up to 2 weeks, I could see Turbo going a little bit lower, starting to consolidate, recover, and start pushing up. What I really want to see with Turbo is overtake this area over here, the 0.015 area, and retest and respect it. Okay. Because if Turbo does this, then what we expect over the next few months are just massive, massive, massive bursts to the upside. Because currently we are in this type of channel here. As you can tell, we are in this channel here, but we are starting to squeeze to the upside. So when we do squeeze to the upside, that is it. That like all the massive gains are about to be coming over the next few weeks, which is the most exciting part. Listen, guys, remember, only 3 to 5% of people cash out. Okay. That is the reality. Only 3 to 5% of people cash out. So please, please, please remember to cash out and, don't be stingy or stubborn with certain price predictions. Yes, we all want Turbo to hit 30, 40, 50 billion market cap. But remember, at the end of the day, it's not up to us. When the market decides to top, it decides to top. Hopefully, based off all the evidence and data, we will be smashing these goals. But just in case we go right under, do not live and die and marry the toad. Remember that the toad's job is to get you to the moon, but the toad has to go back to Earth. Okay. Remember, the toad has to go back to Earth. We are going to be staying on the moon. So remember that. Anyways, on to other coins, right? Render is still, this is a beautiful candle over here. I believe Render is going to be looking to overclaim the all-time highs over the next 2 weeks, max 3 weeks. And like the note says, this is the last relevant resistance until we get to the all-time highs. And once we kind of get from the all-time highs, we should see a massive expansion, especially that if we look over here, this zone and this zone over here is pretty much like a big, massive consolidation zone when you really think about it. So when we expand and start going and creating new all-time highs, we should pump pretty heavy, probably until the $30, $40 mark, until we slow down, have a correction. And I believe after that correction is going to be when Render pumps massively for the final time during altcoin season. Okay, that is what I believe Render's blueprint is. And that is what I believe will happen. Now, let's just dive into 2 more coins, Caspa and MYRO. And we'll also dive into Pangolin. Caspa still continues to hold the 15-cent mark, which is absolutely true. Buyers are still in control. My speculation on Caspa and what I believe is still the same. We've been consolidating for a year, and I expect this thing to really, really pump heavy when it breaks out. Okay. So still the same, right? You can still be buying around the 15-cent area. I think that's very beautiful. We talked about potential spikes to 13.5 cents. But if it were to spike, it'd be for a very, very quick second, maybe a couple minutes at most. Let's dive into our boy MYRO. MYRO, it's looking okay at the moment, right? We talked about how I want this 8 cents weekly candle to close above 8 cents. So, once that happens, I expect MYRO to be recovering. And I really want MYRO to start pushing past the 14, 15 cent mark because it is lagging behind other coins. I know MYRO has its own issues here and there, but at the end of the day, I believe MYRO will still have very nice gains, especially that I believe retail will start buying MYRO because it's still one of the top dog coins at the end of the day. Okay. No matter what people say, it is still a top dog coin at the end of the day. Now to our final beautiful coin, Pangolin. Pangolin is looking to reject over 36 cents, which is very, very bullish, ladies and gentlemen. It is very, very extremely bullish. So I believe your last chance buys for these coins, especially Pangolin, are, coming to an end. So if you'd like to buy Pangolin around 36 cents, the price it is currently at, then feel free. Remember, I'm not a financial advisor. That is it, ladies and gentlemen. Hope you guys enjoyed, and I'll talk to you guys next time.